So Dan Campbell said this week one of the things he's most looking forward to is unleashing Hutch. Are you looking forward to unleashing Hutch as well?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we got a really good opponent in front of us, and one that, we watched the tape from last year. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're all excited, and I'm ready to unleash the beast.
Does the intensity level go up? Like, how are guys preparing you or what to expect for this first game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a natural thing. It's nothing that needs to be said. I think everybody just locks more in, just because obviously, now it's for real now, and now this is where our record starts, and this is where the wins and the losses begin. So, I think it's kind of an unspoken thing. Obviously, guys talk about it, but naturally, everyone kind of dials it in more.
AG said he doesn't have to overcoach you, and the intensity is you bring it on your own. Is that, I mean, you've been like that, I'm sure, but transitioning from training camp to real NFL game, how do you prepare for that?
It's a little different. I got a lot more time on my hands, so I've been watching a ton of film. It's a little different than college. You don't got to go home and write a paper. You can go home and watch some film. So it's different. I'm just adjusting to this life right now, and I'm loving it. And I get to go home and really just just watch football and prepare for this game. So I got a lot of time on my hands, so I'm using it wisely.
Speaking of watching film, what's your impression of the Eagles' offensive line?
Yeah, I think they're extremely talented, and they got a lot of vets up front, guys who have been in the league for a very long time. So it'll be a good test for us week one, and I think whatever happens, whatever the outcome of the game is, we're gonna grow a lot from it, and we're gonna learn what kind of defense we got.
You let yourself think about what running out of that tunnel is going to be like. It's going to be standing room only. It's packed. First NFL game. It's the show, right? It's what you dream about.
Yeah, this is it right here. This is it's going to be awesome. You hear it's sold out since, what did they say, it's 17 or 19 or something. I don't even know, but man, it's going to be a great atmosphere. So I can't wait.
Have you asked any of the vets what the difference is between regular season and preseason? In other words, this jump, whether things speed up a little bit. Have you talked to some of those guys about that?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's one of those unspoken things where, I mean, we all know it's sold out. We all know the intensity and the importance of this game in terms of setting the tone for our season. So not a whole lot needs to be said in terms of, we know what's on the line, and we know how talented they are. So if we're going to go out and win this game, we gotta bring our best.
Great test too, right? I mean,
that's right.
Rushing,
yeah.
You guys wanted to be a better run defense.
Yeah.
I know you weren't here last year, but obviously
right.
the numbers. The coaches think you are. Is this a good test week one to kind of prove and show to yourselves that, hey, we've made the right moves, pulled the right strings to become a better defense overall?
Yeah. I mean, Philly's got one of the best rushing attacks in the league, and especially with Jalen at quarterback, they got a lot of dangerous people. And if we're gonna have any success in this game, we got to stop that run first.
What would be a successful first game to you? I mean, what do you want to go out and accomplish just this first game?
I'm not really too focused on numbers. I never really am. If I can turn on that tape after and I know that I'm dominated and I'm doing my job, and I'm it's never been about the numbers for me. I think the numbers come. So I think if I'm able to turn on that tape and be happy with myself, I think that's a win in my book.
How much more challenging is it to not only prepare for your week one in the NFL, but then to prepare for a quarterback like Hurts who's a dual threat?
Yeah, it's different. Obviously we don't get a whole lot of that with Jared, but with Jalen for sure. I mean, he's such a dangerous threat. So, we're really putting an emphasis on him and stopping the run and obviously have him run as least as we can. So we're gonna try our best.
What's the pregame look like? What are you going to prepare? How are you going to prepare for your NFL debut?
Say it one more time.
What is your pregame preparation going to look like? What are you going to do before your NFL debut?
Really the same things I do in college. I think not a whole lot changes except you kind of got more time by yourself. So that's what I like. That's how I this is what I prefer, to be honest with you, is more time to just lock in on with you know, myself. So you know, it'll be good. It'll be fun.
I'm curious. You're getting asked about unleashing Hutch and playing under the bright lights and the intensity of the moment. Do you have to, in any way, stay on an even keel and control the amped emotions just to make sure that you're, you know, staying disciplined and assignment sound within the aggression?
Yeah, I mean, typically I think that's always my philosophy. But you know, as big as this game is, I think you know, it's really just simple at the end of the day. You know, I really never get too wrapped up in the emotions of it. Obviously, I'm passionate and I have fun, but it's never out of control. So it's never been an issue with me.
One more thing with Jalen, you obviously are worried about him getting out of the pocket and running, but you can't like not be as aggressive trying to go after him in the pass rush too, right? What's the fine line there between being too aggressive but also being, you know, sound in your lanes?
Yeah, no, you said it. That's exactly how it is. You gotta keep applying that pressure, but also you know, keeping good rush lanes. So it's a nice there's a fine line, you know, between those two things.
You were asked about offensive line, right? So you played good competition in the Big Ten and, you know, championship games and whatnot. When you're watching the film of this Eagles offensive line, can you see the difference of caliber of offensive line and what sets these guys apart from what you've seen so far in your football playing days?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just the NFL as a whole. I wouldn't just necessarily say Philly, just for the amount of games that I've watched so far, just seeing different teams and different offensive lines. Obviously, these dudes have been in the league for 10+ years, so they know a couple things, and you know, they're pretty savvy, some of those older guys. So yeah, it'll be a good test.
Speaking of that's another position, Brandon Graham. Obviously, I think I saw you were working out with him this offseason. I mean, what's it like? Almost different generation.
I know, it's crazy.
Position.
Yeah, I was just training with BG a little bit for like one workout this past offseason, but no, it'll be good to see him. And yeah, we talked about a jersey swap, but I might have to keep this one.
We talked about the different factors, but it's kind of like a recipe for a defense and an aggressive guy. You got a really mobile quarterback, a highly ranked offense, and then a bad taste in your mouth from last year. Do you guys kind of soak that up, and as a defense, do you love it?
Yeah, you know, I think so. And you know, I wasn't really there last year, so I didn't feel what a lot of those guys felt. So I think for some guys it's different, but I've had that feeling before. You know, just when you get beat bad and you got to play on that next year. So I know what it's like, and you know, I'm with the boys now, so if they're feeling it, I'm feeling it. You know.
On your own, when did you start watching film of Philly guys, the tackles, etc.?
Kind of throughout the preseason. They didn't play a bunch in the preseason, but I don't know when, but a little bit ago.
And then just by the nature of you moving around as much as you do, I mean, how much bigger does that make your task in terms of trying to scout the opponent, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. I mean, I got to look at just about the whole offensive line. So, I mean, it's making me better. And obviously got to put a couple more hours in, but it'll all be worth it.
Was there ever a Wiley vet moment you ran into in the preseason that stood out in terms of a guy he schooled me a little bit just because he's been in it for 5-10 years, etc.?
You said in the preseason?
Yeah, or even in camp, I suppose. But somebody got you.
I mean,
years of experience almost.
I mean, I've gotten got, but but like,